We're back, and again, you're watching On Location TV with my guest today, T. Patrick Williams. Now, before we went on break, we kind of went through all the little things, or should I say the big things, points in your life that you mentioned about how you got started. But one thing that really stuck out in your bio to me was about when you were a child, 4 years old, and kind of doing that.
Right. I was kind of doodling around, and my doodling really turned into drawing. I love to draw, and like I was saying earlier, with the face is just a blank canvas, and it's made for you to draw on, or to fix up,
Right.
rather to say. And as a child, when my parents saw me drawing, they were like, "Okay, you can draw a little bit." They put me in art classes. They encouraged me to do what I love to do. So
Right.
it wasn't just I was just playing around. It started off as playing around, and I started liking it.
Right.
I loved it, and they encouraged that. Whatever they would tell me, whatever you love to do, do it. Nobody can stop you from doing what you love to do. So and that's what
parents
I've been.
really should.
Parents should really encourage their children to live a happy life and do what makes their heart content.
Right, right,
I mean, if it's positive, let them do it.
right.
I mean, if it's going to make them a better adult later on in life, go for it.
Well, see, that really stuck out to me because lots of times, we have parents, and not all parents, but they, don't encourage and support their children. They may have their own particular dream for them of what they want to do, and it may not match up to what that child wants to do as an adult. So that really kind of stuck out to me. But I want to switch again. We're going to do a lot, so we like driving. It's
Right.
just switching back and forth. But I said in the opening that you wear a lot of different hats. And we've talked about fashion, being a fashion designer. We've talked about photography. We've talked about the makeup. But you're involved in a couple other things that I know about that we're going to talk about. Now, music.
Hmm.
Talk about that for a second.
Well, believe it or not, I'm 14 years classically trained in vocal music.
Okay.
I got to thank my parents for that. They heard me singing. They were like, "Well, do you like singing?" And my mom and dad both were singers, so they got me a vocal teacher. They had me trained, so they were like, "If you're gonna do this,
Do it correctly.
do it correctly and be the best you can be at it. If you like it, you can do it. If you stop liking it, don't do it."
Right, right.
So after that, after I grew up, I'm still a music lover, and I started working with Sony Music Entertainment as their college marketing representative for the state of Mississippi.
Okay, okay.
So that was first off how I kind of got my foot in the door with the makeup. So you do one job, branches off into another, branches off
Right.
into another. So that's kind of how that started off. And I'm also a manager for a couple of artists here in Jackson, and I'm a recording artist myself.
Oh, okay. Now, I did not know that. I missed that part. I was trying to read about all the different hats that you wore, but I missed that part, so
Yeah,
you
I'm
are.
a busy man.
Yeah, I see. Now, let's switch again, and we're going to talk about poetry. You're
Right.
involved in that.
Yes, I'm a poet. I do spoken word.
Right.
I've been featured 5 times at Spoken Word in the City here in Jackson. I'm sure a lot of people have heard some of my work, but I'll write anytime I'm inspired to write. I'll be performing tomorrow at Cultural Expressions, performing a new piece that I just finished writing at the Reservoir the other day. So that should be interesting. I'm in the process of trying to memorize it now.
Oh,
Because I
okay.
hate reading off paper. I figure the only time I should be reading off paper is when I'm writing it.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry, I got these cards here, and I
you're
kind of
good.
keep them close to me. But the reason that I do that is I don't want to miss anything.
Right.
And when you're doing this, you're talking to more than one person, and I be like, I can't miss nothing. And my whole goal is to make sure that I introduce you and all that you do to the city of Jackson. Now, talk about a contact number or give out some contact information. Now, if you have to go to that paper, that's fine.
Right.
But give us some contact information on you if somebody's watching and want to get in
Well,
contact
if
with
somebody wants to view my work, first of all, they can go to it's tpatrickphotography.carbonmade.com.
Okay.
So that's tpatrickphotography, all one word, .carbonmade.com.
Okay. Okay.
And a telephone number would be 979 91. No, the telephone number would be, I wrote it on my hand, y'all, so, because I couldn't remember it. I got nervous. It's 917-727-9379. Again, that is 917-727-9379.
Look, you went old school.
Was like,
you went old school
forget
about
the cell phones, write it on your hand.
Went back to old school, writing on
Right.
your hand.
Y'all can find me on Facebook. It's T.Patrick Williams.
Okay.
So if you need to find me on Facebook, all my work is there, and I talk to everybody.
Okay. Okay. Now, you had a famous quote
Yeah.
that I remember seeing that I want you to share just a little part of it, and just elaborate on that, how you connect that with your inspiration right now as being.
I always use my quote is, do not be afraid to dream, because it takes a vivid dream to live an extra imaginary life. So never be afraid to try something new. Never be afraid to get out there and actually try something new. The worst you can do is fail. So my mom always used to tell us, it never makes a fail but a try. So you can't fail at something if you don't try it.
What keeps you motivated? Talk about that for a second. What is your motivation with being able to balance all of this out?
My motivation is just living. I don't want to be one of those ones that my epitaph is just naked. Like, okay, I had no good stories. I didn't have any funny times. I didn't fall down a flight of stairs. There's nothing that my friends or family that's left behind after I'm gone can say anything good about me, or even think anything bad about me. I mean, I want to be able to say I lived and not just sat here and look dumb.
Right, right.
So that's my motivation, is just life in general.
So has it all been uphill?
No, it's been like mid-hill and then slide back down and then try to crawl back up and catch a couple of grenades and have them blow up in your hand. It's been that kind of thing.
So you just have to learn how to, again, balance it.
Try to balance out the good with the bad, take it as it comes. I mean, that's all you really can do. You learn from your experiences.
So what would you tell somebody that might be watching that, you know, feel a little down in what their goal is or what they see, and it's becoming a little blurred? How would you encourage that person?
I would tell them, do not give up, and set your goals higher than what they already are set at. Like if you have it set at a 10, go for like a 35, because you can never aim too high. Exactly what you're trying to reach, you can always go a little bit higher than that.
Right, right.
I mean, never say what you can't do. Always say what you can do or what you're willing to try. I mean, because you can't fail if you don't try it.
And something, you know, that works for me is, even though that I may have, you know, goals set, I do a lots of writing. It might be I have this little, just a plain little notepad, and I do a lots of things that I want to accomplish or be able to experience. I just write them down, and as I go through them and I may fail, I check them off. And I may have to come back to it, but it's just a matter of me seeing it in black and white sometimes.
Right.
Helps me to kind of visualize what I want to do in some things. Now we're getting ready to go on break again, and this last segment we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
All of this that we see sitting out here on the table, that makeup that I've had a chance to experience today.
Right.
But of course you've done my makeup in the past for me at
Yes,
several different events, and we're going to take another break, and when we come back we're going to talk about that for a minute.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
Okay, we're going to go on break and we'll be right back.